Hi guys, thanks very much for tuning into another video of my life, and in this video we are going to do an unboxing of the Lenovo Chromebook S330 14-inch laptop MediaTek MT8173C. That's the chipset. It's got 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, eMMC. It's in black color as well. Before I do the unboxing, I'll just let you know the reasons and the thoughts behind buying this particular product and the sort of user that I am personally. Hopefully that will help you make your decision as well before we do the unboxing. It's quite usual with my videos, by the way. I do the talking first, bit of kind of sprinkling around the details as to the reasons behind the purchase, and then the unboxing happens. For those who want to see the unboxing, you can quite simply jump to that relevant section there. So currently the sort of user I use a Windows machine, and it has a relatively decent processor on there, and I would quite normally have multiple browsers open, probably tens and tens, quite literally 50, 60 tabs open, YouTube videos going on, full HD, maybe 4K, etc. Multiple desktops going on as well. But that is a machine that I use myself, probably about 12, 14 hours a day is not unusual for me, and that's for work as well as personal. So being a user like that, I need everything very kind of snappy. I don't like if things lag. It needs to kind of be responsive. So I'm one of those guys who, if I go into the settings, my mouse is already kind of waiting for that window to maximize before the button even appears. If that kind of gets an idea of the sort of user I am, I use keyboard shortcuts, etc. But I'm not a full power user, so I'm not going to go into registry. I can if I want to, following some instructions online to fix something, etc. But I'm not going to go into the Windows registry and messing about there. I'm quite happy with the default setup. So the best way I can describe it is I'm a heavy user, but I'm probably not a power user, and I'm also not a casual user. And the reason I've bought this particular Chromebook, which I've never bought before, because I'm a Windows user most of the time, and Android on the smartphone, is because of the sharing aspect of it. Literally, this is just designed to be hanging around the house. If anyone wants to use it, it's always there available, multiple user profiles, etc., etc. And it's a very, very reasonably priced device as well. And for those who regularly view my channel, you know that I really like reasonably priced devices. The time of the video, of course, is 2022. I still think this is a very decent device for the price. One of the main criteria for me for a Chromebook was that it should have a 1080p screen. My laptop at home is a high resolution screen, much higher than 720p. When you kind of get used to that, you can't really go back to standard definition. So I would say if you are going to buy something, personally, the HD is really important. A lot of the media that we consume these days is video, whether it's YouTube or otherwise, and if you can enjoy those videos in full resolution, HD, etc., there's always going to be a more enjoyable experience. Now, the next question is, well, I could have bought, if it's just going to be a nice sharing little device, I could have bought a Windows tablet, or could have bought a little Windows netbook and things like that. Why didn't I do that? Why would I rather go to a Chromebook? And partly the reason is because I've never tried Chromebook before, but also you've got all the apps available, which you can see pretty much all the apps on Google Play Store. They should be working reasonably well on a Chromebook as well. So that's quite exciting because to give you some examples, if you look at something like some serious software like let's say email clients, okay, now most people wouldn't have really this sort of problem, but there are not that many free to use, whether it's free to business use, etc., commercially available email clients on Windows. They're usually coming with licenses. You've got to pay for it in one form or another. But in Android, you've got plenty of those options, such as those open source, etc. So it's a much more open world. And in surplus to that, there are many other apps that you can get on Android where it is a freemium kind of model where you get the basic features for free. Maybe there's an ad that comes up and you just make sure you see the ad, etc. every now and then. And as long as you're happy with that, then you've got a lot more choices. Never mind the things like the games and everything else that's available as well. So I just thought it's interesting from an apps perspective to have a laptop which allows me to see what Google kind of Chrome OS offers, a Chromebook offers. I mean, ultimately, a machine like this really is just for browsing and things like that. Maybe a bit of word processing, maybe a bit of emails. I wouldn't imagine anyone's going to do some serious gaming on there, of course, unless it's over the cloud and that kind of thing, Stadia and what have you, but not natively. So I think overall that's kind of the reason for the appeal behind this. It is there just as a browser, as a casual experience. If you're a cloud heavy user, then of course you've got all this storage available on the cloud. You don't need that much storage locally. So if you are buying a device like this, do bear in mind that if you buy 32 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, these are not huge storage spaces. We're talking about like half a terabyte, 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte, things like that. So you are going to be relying heavily on storage online. So if you are already subscribing to things like Office 365 and OneDrive and your Google Drive surplus storages and what have you, then this is the kind of device which will be absolutely fine for you. On the other hand, if you rely a lot on local storage, just bear in mind that a large proportion of the 64 or 34 gigs is going to be dedicated to the Chrome OS really. So those are kind of the highlights. Anything, if you need more than that, you can comment below. I'm sure someone else will be able to help you out, or even myself. If the question is something I can answer, I'll be happy to help you out if I can. So without further ado, let's get this thing unboxed. So as you can see, it's a virgin unboxing. Now, unlike my normal products that I purchase, I can't really say that I've extensively researched this particular product. It was really as quick as possible, find something that meets the criteria that everyone can use and it can be shared amongst people, etc. And it doesn't cost too much, so that if you don't enjoy it, at least it's not a huge loss or anything like that. As you can see, we've got this opened up. Let's remove it from the box. Now, this has been purchased from an online store. You will see eBay links, etc. Let's get it out. If you want to purchase this or some other Chromebook or some other device, feel free to use the links in the description. It really does help the channel. This particular one, I have bought it from eBay. It's supposed to be refurbished, so we'll see what the sort of condition that we see it in. It's supposed to be reasonably good. Now, whatever that means. It does come with warranty, etc. So you can buy on eBay, of course, second-hand, brand new, refurbished, whatever you like. This particular one I've gone for refurbished, very fairly priced. In my opinion, it was quite good, so I just bought it straight away. So that's what the box looks like from the front. And you can see the relevant things here, the model number. I'm not going to show you any other specific things like serial numbers of the devices and so forth. Okay, so the color name is, color of this product is called Business Black. Okay, I'm just going to open it from here. You can see that there's no seal here because obviously it's refurbished, so there is a seal at the bottom end of it. Okay, so that's inside, if you can see that. Okay, let's take this out. Okay, a lot of things just dropped out, but I'll put it back on the desk. Here it is. There's nothing else in the box apart from what I'm gonna take out and put on the table. But there we are. Sorry about the lighting. It was a really sunny day, but classic UK weather. You just never know. It's going to be cloudy all of a sudden, then it's going to be bright and sunny and things like that, and that's how the weather's been these days. Let's take this out now. Okay, there you can see. That's what the charger looks like. I have to say, it smells very new. It says 45 watt on there. I'm not sure if you can see that. 45W. I really can't even see a scratch or anything on there. Maybe no one's used it. I don't know, but it seems perfectly fine. I'm going to put this away for a second. I can see that it's a USB Type-C charger as well, which is quite good. Put that away. This is the mains plug. Again, it looks perfectly fine. I'm not really going to bother taking this out. Or maybe I should. Let's take this out. Okay, there we have the power cable. Once again, really, I mean, it probably is used, I'm guessing, in some form, but really doesn't look like it. It smells absolutely new, really. Okay, so there we are, the second part. This is the setup guide. Probably not going to read this. Again, take this out. You know, sometimes with these things it can be customer returns and stuff like that. There we are. That's what it is. The Idea Pad 3 or something or other. I'm not quite sure. But okay, so we've got the standard things. It is a British layout. It's got Wi-Fi. I'll read through the specifications towards the end as well, so you can have an idea of what this device specifications are. Okay, take this off. Chromebook again looks very. I'll be honest, looks absolutely fine. Maybe it's the internals that are grade C, and that's why they can't say it's the grade 1, grade A, sorry. Okay. Okay, so that is, we can get this off. Fine. Get another one here. Take that off. And then let's get this out. Oh, very nice. And again, just literally cannot see anything at all much wrong with it. I mean, it just looks pretty much just looks new. Looks new actually. Okay, cool. Let's get this opened up. Oh my goodness. Okay. Screen is like new. Okay, it's just turned on by itself. I've literally just opened the device, it's turned on. Screen looks absolutely satisfactory. Of course, it's not as to the same standard as my main laptop, but I wouldn't expect it to be. Of course, it's a budget device. Mouse responsiveness seems fine. Clicks seem absolutely satisfactory. I wouldn't have any issues with that. And the keyboard seems fine. I was just trying to type the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Interesting thing with the Chromebook here, this is a search key rather than a caps lock, but I think you can switch it around different sections. But so far so good. I'm very impressed by this device compared to the price I've paid for it. I mean, extremely impressed. Very nice. And this device came with a warranty and parts warranty, etc. as well, so I'm very happy with that. If anything happens and it goes wrong, then I've got some recourse to action. This is, as you can see, it's a bit like that. But the viewing angles are excellent, actually. So I'm not sure how it's coming across in the camera, but you've got a reasonable range. Sometimes what happens is you do that and it starts to look like that. So you've got a very narrow range where it looks nice and clean, but this isn't the case. It looks absolutely fine, actually. This is all low resolution pixels because I think this is the safe mode perhaps, or the setup mode, but I think once it's all up and running it might look just fine. I'm not going to do that at this point in time. Okay, let's okay, another interesting thing, all these keys are small rather than caps. Okay, that's fine. As you can see, I've never used a Chromebook before, so all of this is new to me, but overall, I mean, absolutely fine device, can't complain. My guess is it's going to work perfectly fine as well. I did a little bit of research finding out online what it might be like, what people's experiences are, and I think so far so good. I wouldn't go below this specification, I don't think. I don't think I'd go to like 32 gigs of storage. I don't think I'd go to like 1 point something gigahertz processor, low end of a 1.1, 1.2. I don't think I'd bother with that. But this is probably the minimum I'd go for. One more thing before I move on to the next point, actually, because I've forgotten to mention this during the video. Excellent battery life. I think the battery life on this thing is like 10 hours or something, and maybe it takes 2 or 3 hours to charge it up. So battery life is really not a concern. Again, another great thing about it just hanging around the house. Anyone wants to use it and you don't want to worry about the battery too much. You know, it's just going to be charged, it's just going to be ready no matter who wants to use it. So another plus point for this device. And we'll now crack on with the rest of the video. So I did say towards the end, I'm going to specify the specifications of this device. I'm just going to rattle them off. Hopefully someone finds them useful. Personally, you can find this sort of thing online, so I don't tend to read through the device specifications too much. By the way, moving this around feels very solid and reasonably good. Even though it looks like it's bouncing around, it's actually, once you get it in the place that you want, I think it's perfectly fine. And as I mentioned, you have to judge it for the device itself. This is another laptop. This is a proper laptop. You can see, of course, this is much more sturdier than that one, and it's the same brand. But the Chromebook, of course, is a budget device. Okay, so here come the specifications. 64GB eMMC storage, 4GB of RAM. You've got MediaTek. I've read the model number of the MediaTek chipset before anyway, but it's MT8173C. You've got the black is the color, business black, 14-inch. You've got the screen size in terms of the resolution. It's got the normal basic things like you've got the HD screen, you've got two 2-watt speakers, you've got 2 USB. Oh, that's an interesting one. Some Chromebooks just have the one USB port, but this has 2. So again, try to stay away from absolutely the bottom end of the budget there. And then you get a couple of things extra. You've got the headphone jack, you've got internal microphone, you've got a memory card slot, built-in webcam as well. I wouldn't expect too much from the webcam, but I'm sure it's good enough. The processor speed is 1.7 gigahertz, but I think it does go to, like, I think it has a mode where it probably goes turbo or something, and it can go to 2.1 gigahertz or something like that. Overall, the dimensions you're looking at is 325 by 20 by 232. These are millimeters, okay? 325 by 20 by 232. In terms of the weightiness of it, I mean, it's perfectly fine, really. You know, you can't expect too much from a device like this. It is a little bit on the heavy side, I'd say, but then again, it's a full 14-inch device, and therefore, what else would you expect? You know, you can't be completely featherweight. But overall, I hope it helped someone, this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you always for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to buy this device or some other Chromebook or some other laptop or anything, please do use the links in the description and the comment section. It really, really, really helps the channel. I will really appreciate it. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. MyLife.